Bless you. This is the Reverend Dr. Gilberto Rosado. Dios lo bendiga. Este es Reverendo Dr. Gilberto Rosado, welcoming you to another broadcast. At this hour, we have our bilingual broadcast, our teaching in English and Spanish. So we ask that you be patient as we translate live on the fly between languages. Esta es la hora que damos la enseñanza en inglés y español y pedimos que tengas pues paciencia mientras que traduzcamos de un idioma al otro. Aproveche y aprende el otro idioma. While we're at it, you can learn the other language as well. Es un beneficio de sintonizarse con nuestro ministerio. It's a benefit, an added benefit I should add, of tuning in to our ministry. Sintonizando con nosotros ahora. God bless you all. Welcome. Now everybody's together. As you all know, I start off in Facebook, and Facebook first, and then we connect everybody else, which includes Periscope and YouTube and Livestream and just a host of other places that we broadcast. Welcome to our teaching today. Today we're going to finish in Exodus chapter 20. We're in the verses 24 through 26. Vamos a estar terminando en Éxodo 20, versos 24 26. Pero antes de seguir, El Señor me ha dirigido a hablar un poco sobre cómo distinguir, cómo discernir la verdad cuando se te está hablando verdad. Porque hay muchas enseñanzas, muchas iglesias allá afuera. There's a lot of teachings out there, a lot of churches out there. How do you know when someone's trying to pull you away from truth or even just misguide you completely? And you have to understand, this is an issue of your feelings. You got to stop using your feelings. This is not about feelings, okay? We're talking about your eternal state. You cannot go by feelings. Estamos hablando de su estatus eterno o eternal. Usted, la vida eterna. Tú no puedes ir por los sentimientos o su opinión. Esto es muy peligroso, ¿ok? Hay que saber, hay que estar seguro. So we need to know, you need to know, and you need to be sure. So this is a vital teaching today. I'm going to start off with that. Voy a empezar de primera hablando de este tema, cómo discerniendo la verdad, okay, para que ustedes no se dejan engañar. It's astonishing the things, there's sincere people. I've dealt with many folks in person, in life, and online, through social media, through our social evangelizer software and program. By the way, just a little announcement, it's still available on classiforium.com for $33, but it will no longer be available for $33. I'm going to take it off of the regular program, the offer that it is, and we're going to just put it into the Arithmetic University, and that cost will go up towards $1,000 for you to get that, to be part of that course, which includes the Hebrew course and the software. So if anybody's thinking about getting that software, you need to get it now, before I move it completely into Arithmetic University, and it will be one of our main courses there. So you need to get it while it's affordable. For most of you, it's only $33 right now. You really should get it, and because you will be in, while other people will be paying $1,000 to get that software and be part of that class. You will be having it for only $33. So I think it's a very good opportunity for you to get that, and I really would recommend that to everyone listening that God has graced that you're listening to this message. El programa que tengo es del PC, el evangelizador social. Es un programa de computadora. También es un curso en hebreo y es unas enseñanzas muy completos, muy profundos, que te ayuda a predicar, a enseñar, a defender el evangelio en los medios sociales. Ahorita por mucho tiempo lo tengo vendiendo a $33 nada más en el classiforium.com. Pero hemos decidido moverlo completamente al Arithmetic University, a la Universidad de Arithmetic, y solo va a ser un parte de un curso de casi $1,000. Así que es la última oportunidad que van a tener de obtener ese programa, ese software para PC, al costo de solamente $33, y seguro que tienen el acceso al curso en hebreo y todos estos beneficios. Así que le estamos dando otra oportunidad para que consigan ese programa y se involucran al precio muy económico, casi dado a $33 nada más. Así que aprovechase de esa oportunidad antes que sea muy tarde, pues tendrá que pagar $1,000 para tener ese programa y participar en nuestra universidad con ese curso. All right, so it's going to get that program is already maturing and it's becoming quite a wonderful tool for evangelism. So we really do encourage everyone, Christians, listening to me at this point, that God has graced with this, that you are the audience, that you really get that program before we commit it only into the Arithmetic University technology or curriculum. So that's available again at classiforium.com directly. You can do a / after that and put in SE-1. So it's classiforium.com / SE-1. And you will go directly to the order page and you can get that program for $33 right now. Soon it will only be available at Arithmetic University as one of our main courses there, because the program and the information education is getting very intense there, and it's a wonderful education for anyone, any Christian, really, to get that full scope and that knowledge through that program. It's a wonderful program, and as the purpose of it is really to help the family, the children of God, to defend the gospel, really to win the souls, even through social media during these last days. So you need to get that. And I'm just letting you know, it's just the final days that you'll be able to do that for $33. Así que los últimos días ahora para conseguir el programa a $33 y tener un valor, porque eso es la única manera que otros podrán recibirlo después, es pagando los $1,000 para tomar el curso y recibir el programa también, parte de ese curso. So, ese es el aviso, el anuncio de hoy, que aprovechan antes que sea muy tarde. Alright, so ¿cómo discernir la verdad? You know, oh my goodness, you see so much of it. People out there, you know, trying to teach. So they're teaching this or teaching that, and how do you know? How can you tell if something is true or not? It's very difficult. I understand the problems that most of you guys are facing. Entiendo el problema que la mayoría de ustedes tienen. And you have this issue because you don't understand how to tell when the truth is being said. El problema es causado por el no saber cuando la verdad se te está diciendo, cuando se te está hablando verazmente. Okay, so cuando usted no tiene conocimiento suficiente, usted es expuesto a cualquier ideas que suenan bien. Okay, so like when you don't have a lot of knowledge, and you're hungry for knowledge, you see, you are exposed. You're exposed, and you're exposing yourself to anything that sounds good. And that's just as bad as going with your feelings. At one time I was teaching the congregation, and I asked someone to look. I told people to raise their hands if they felt a little warm. And some people raised their hands. And I asked, and how many of you are feeling cool? You know, feel cold, that there's something cold here. And some raised their hands for that. Okay, so I said, well, what temperature would you think it is based on how you're feeling? So some people said this number, some people said that number. And then I asked someone, go see what it says on the thermometer. So then they went to the thermostat and they read what the temperature was, according to the thermostat. And I expressed to them, you see, but you guys don't agree. Everyone here, even though we're sitting here and the non-human meter says that the temperature is, whatever it was, I think it was like a 74 or something like that. Even though it says that, you guys don't agree because each one of you has different perceptive ability. And you have a different sense. So some of you felt cold and others felt warm. See, and that's the trouble. I pointed that out. I said that's the trouble with going with your feeling. But your feeling has nothing to do with the temperature, not the truth. See? Your feelings have nothing to do with the truth. Su sentimiento. Yo hice una prueba en la iglesia, en la congregación, y pregunté, ¿cuántos tienen frío? Levanta la mano. Sienten algo frío en el aire. Y entonces pedí, ¿cuántos sienten un calorcito en el aire? Otros levantaron la mano. Entonces no hay un acuerdo entre todos de que es caliente o es frío. Entonces le pregunté a uno de los jóvenes, vaya, busca temperatura de acuerdo a la termostata. Y fueron y vieron el termostato y dijeron que la temperatura era 74, vamos a decir ahora. Y yo dije, usted ve que el termostato dice qué es la temperatura. Pero nosotros, yendo por nuestros sentimientos, por nuestras percepciones, vemos que no estamos en acuerdo, pero cada uno tiene su percepción, tiene su sentido, ¿sí? Pero no hay una verdad. En ningún aspecto podemos decir que este es verdad y el otro está equivocado, que el otro está bien y este está equivocado. No se puede decir, basado por los sentimientos. Por eso usamos metros, usamos utensilios para medir. So that is the reason, because there's no agreement on truth based on feelings and perception. That is why we use standards. We use tools. We call them measurement tools of measurement. Okay, and before you guys go nutty, why am I looking over the other camera this way? It's because both of I'm streaming to many different places, and actually they're not showing the same thing. So some of them are showing this view, and the other is showing that view, so I can't split myself in two people. So, alright, so anyway, so that's basically the way it is. You cannot go by your feelings. And then worse, going by your opinion, which you're not qualified to have anyway. Entonces, lo peor es yendo por su opinión, que no tiene cualificación para tener una opinión de todo modo. Qué peligroso. Oh my goodness. You're not even qualified to have an opinion because only an expert can give an opinion. An expert. You have to understand that. You guys, you have to understand that society and the forces that be have given you a false premise. La sociedad y los poderes que hay le han dado a usted una falsa autoridad, una falsa percepción, una falsa concepto de que usted tiene opinión, que usted tiene, ¿cómo se dice?, derecho a su opinión, cuando en realidad tú no tienes opinión, tú no tienes derecho a ninguna opinión porque tú no eres un experto. The reality is you don't have an opinion. You don't know enough. You're not an expert to have and formulate and to then have an opinion. let alone to offer it to others, to offend truth and the world, and and the status of the universe with your supposed pseudo opinion. You don't have the right. We are living in a polluted world, and it's not because of carbon dioxide. It's not because of fossil fuels. It's because of dim-wittedness. It's polluting the air. Nosotros estamos en un ambiente contaminada, y no es contaminada con la energía de fósiles, de la energía usando por quemar, tú sabes, que tiran contaminación en el aire. Esa no es la contaminación principal que hay. La contaminación principal que hay en esta tierra son los pseudo opiniones de la gente y la filosofía de que cada uno tiene derecho a ¿qué? A ser bruto, a ser estúpido, eso sí, pero no diga que tiene derecho a su opinión, porque tú no tienes opinión. Lo que tienes es ignorancia. You don't have an opinion. You can't say the pollution there is, everybody thinking they have an opinion. You cannot offer an opinion. All you're doing is contaminating this world with pseudo opinions. And you're contaminating the social context. Están contaminando el contexto social. Y lo que causa eso es confusión. ¿Qué es lo que hay? And what comes about from polluting the contamination of the social context is confusion, which is what we have, what you see. What you see in society today is a result of this confusion, of contamination. A dumbing down. There's indicators that we've been pointing to for years. And we've been saying that, society is getting dumber and dumber and dumber. And the air is getting full, the airways, social media, the media, and TV is just full of dumb. That's what you put on the TV, and you are just, I would have to be cursing right now and add expletives to the elements for you all to really understand what is happening to you. What they're doing to your brain. Okay, so fill in the blanks, because I don't need to go down that route. Yo tuviese que hablar palabras feas y malas en combinación con los elementos detalladas para explicarte lo que te están haciendo a través de las noticias, a través de los medios sociales y a través de la televisión. Lo que te están haciendo a la mente. See? So this is alarming. What you're seeing here on Facebook is from Social Evangelizer, by the way. On Facebook, they're getting some of the memes that I have in the Social Evangelizer program. Okay, so you can enjoy those as they go along. Esto es del programa de la evangelización social, por eso lo están viendo en Facebook nada más, porque en los otros canales no lo están viendo ahora. Es parte del programa de evangelización y de defender el evangelio, y esos son los fotos que se tiran cuando alguien dice algo estúpido, cuando alguien está evitando la verdad. When someone is saying something dumb, or commenting or getting off the topic or anything like that, I have these memes ready for you to go and throw it right out there, which are very impacting. So that's part of the Social Evangelize, also the program there. So get excited. It's fun. Okay. And it's okay to use your brain. Yes. Alrighty. So that's what's happening out there. And you see it even with the Social Evangelizer program. When you start dealing with people out there, it's just horrific. It is horrid.
You don't need to see no horror movies. You just have to evangelize, and you will be confronted with the most frightening of intellects out there. Usted no necesita ver películas de monstruos y cosas así para encontrarse con monstruosidades de mente, de mentalidades que hay en las esferas sociales cuando uno empieza a hablar la verdad y enseñar. Increíble, increíble. Okay, so in all of these things, though, you begin to notice, that is why it's, first of all, Jesus said to go and make disciples. Primeramente, Jesús dijo, id y hacer discípulos. Okay. There's a real big reason why he said that. It is not to fill your church with members. Hay una razón grande que Jesús dijo ir y hacer discípulos, y no es para llenar la iglesia. No es para llenar la iglesia, increíblemente. Es para que uno vea lo que está pasando, para que el creyente crezca, se madure. ¿Ok? Haciendo la obra del Señor, uno se madura. Haciendo la obra del Señor, uno aprende bastante, bastante. Y con la ayuda del Espíritu Santo, el Ruach HaKodesh, uno se madura muy, muy, muy bien. Y esa es la razón. Sin hacer la voluntad de Dios, no puede crecer como debes crecer en el Señor como debemos. If you don't do what the Lord said, go ye and make disciples, you're really not growing as you should. With the help of the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, and with dealing with and trying to help other people and helping them and taking them by the hand and step by step. And then you have others that are just not, they're not dealing with reality the way that needs to be done. And you will learn a lot. You will absolutely mature in the Lord by doing what God said instead of just hiding in the church singing a song. So it's absolutely imperative that a Christian goes out and does what the Lord said, so that the growth that Peter refers to in his letters, he talks about the Christian going from this to that, from this level to that level, from here to there, from here to there. That cannot happen in a Christian unless they are actually doing the work of the Lord. You really don't understand the New Testament. You don't understand Paul unless you're actually doing what Paul did. Nosotros no vamos a entender lo que dijo, no vamos a experienciar o vivenciar en nuestra vida lo que habla Pedro cuando habla de que vamos de esto al otro, en crecimiento espiritual. No lo vamos a experimentar a menos que estemos haciendo la voluntad de Dios, haciendo lo que Cristo ordenó que se hiciese. Y además no vamos a entender a Pablo genuinamente si no estamos haciendo lo que Pablo hizo. Son cosas que uno ve y uno aprende cuando está haciendo la voluntad del Señor. So hay que hacerlas. Y recomiendo el Social Evangelizer a todo el mundo. I recommend Social Evangelizer for everyone listening right now, and get it before the price goes way up there. Okay, so how do you know the truth when it's being told to you? And how can you distinguish it? That is a very hard thing to do. It's like saying you would have to know the answer in order to know if the answer is right or wrong. That's basically what's happened when you're asking that question. Now, realize how dumb it is for you to even say, well, I can know the truth when it's being said. Realize that. Entiende que para saber la verdad, uno necesita saber la respuesta antes de figurar el problema. Y realizas o entiendes que ridículo es para usted pensar que usted podía conocer la verdad antes de conocer la verdad. ¿Sí? ¿Me están entendiendo? You see, because esto requiere poder mental, disciplina mental. It requires, to be able to figure this out, you need mental strength. You need agility. Okay? And to understand even what I'm telling you. You need to have that acuity to be able to have the discipline necessary to figure these things out. So that's number one. All right. So the answer is, if you don't know the truth, you don't know the answer. So you cannot say and you can never feel that you know the truth. Tú no puedes nunca decir que conoces la verdad porque no sabes todas las respuestas. Y en realidad no conoces la verdad. ¿Cuándo conociste la verdad? Lo que tú dices. Tú conoces lo que tú piensas que es la verdad, pero ¿qué es la verdad? You see, you can feel, again, you can feel that you know the truth. The question is, I didn't ask you if you felt that you knew the truth. What we're asking is, what is the truth? See? Which is different from your feeling of what is the truth or your opinion of what is the truth. Es diferente la verdad que tu sentir o tu opinión de la verdad. Muy distinto. Y si tú no puedes admitir aquello, tú estás en falsedad, chico o chica. If you cannot admit that what you have is an opinion of what is true, a feeling of what is true, a perception of truth, then you are false right off the bat. You are in error right off the bat, period. And that's how you know that you're wrong. Just by having that opinion. You're wrong, period. So we know what is wrong. Part of understanding what is right is knowing what is wrong. Entendiendo lo que es correcto es entendiendo lo que está mal. And the problem is, and you'll find this most often than not, or more often than not, is the unwillingness of people, teachers in particular, to admit when they're wrong. Usted verá más que nunca, o más que otra, más que no, los maestros en particular que no quieren admitir cuando están mal. Y ya usted debe saber que están mal. It's amazing how people continue ignoring when wrong is wrong. Increíble como la gente continúa después de conocer o de entender que algo está mal, está mal. And again, it's not your opinion of what's wrong either. For goodness sakes. It's not your feeling. No es tu opinión de que está mal tampoco. Ni tu sentimiento, ni tu sentir. Oh, yo siento que eso está mal. ¿Qué importa? Eso no tiene que decir nada. No quiere decir que está mal. Solo porque tú lo sientes. No, porque a mí me enseñaron, ese es el problema. Maybe that you feel that something is wrong doesn't make it wrong. Oh, because they taught me, well, maybe they taught you wrong too. You see, you're basing what is right and wrong on wrong things. Está basado lo que está bien y lo que está mal en cosas falsas. En opinión de otro que no tiene derecho a su opinión. Tampoco. It's a never-ending cycle of stupidity. Es un ciclo que no termina de estupideces. Okay, so what we can do, we can look for signs of error. Podemos buscar señales, indicaciones de error. What are the signs of error? ¿Qué son los señales de error? The signs of error are what you do. It's like when you're lying in bed and you feel cold. What did you do? Cuando uno está en la cama y uno siente frío, ¿qué es lo que tú haces? Tú buscas más sábana y para cubrirse. ¿Sí? Cuando recuerde lo que pasó en el jardín de Edén. Look at what happened in the Garden of Eden. See, when you feel cold in bed, you look for something more to put on you, right? You pull the covers on you to get warm. A blanket, pull that thing over you, right? You see? Look at what happened in the Garden of Eden. When Adam did the wrong thing. Cuando Adán hizo lo malo, ¿qué pasó? Él buscó ¿qué? Buscó para cubrirse. He looked for something to cover himself. See, when someone is telling you what is not true, they will try to cover their idea. They'll try to pull from someplace else to cover up the lacking of substance in what they're saying. Ellos van a tratar de cubrir la desnudez, lo que falta en su idea, en su concepto. Y ellos buscan de otros lugares como para cubrir, para rellenar el vacío de que la idea que ellos están diciendo causa. Es evidente. What is untruth is evident. Lo que no es verdad es evidente. Lo que pasa es que nosotros tendemos a cubrirlo, a rellenar. What happens is that we tend to cover up for the missing part. That is the nature of man. That's what Adam did. Man's nature is in sin. He tries to cover up his nakedness. And when we have ideas or concepts that are not true, we also try to cover up, compensate. Nosotros cuando el hombre pecó contra Dios, el hombre trató de cubrir su pecado. Cubrir lo que falta, cubrir lo que se perdió, lo que falta. Y hacemos lo mismo con ideas, con conceptos que no son verdad. No son verdad, tratamos de cubrir y rellenar. Lo hace el oyente y el maestro. This is done by the listener or the hearer and the teacher. Both try to cover up the nakedness. The emperor's and his clothes, right? And his new clothes. You know the story. La historia clásica del emperador y su ropa nueva. Yo no sé cómo lo dicen en español. La historia lo aprendí en inglés. Pero es el emperador que el sastre ilustre le dijo que tiene esto, una nueva ropa solo para el rey. Que solamente las personas de nobleza y de inteligencia de alta nivel social pueden ver la magnitud y la gloria de esa ropa. Y cuando el rey se vistió en él, pues salió al pueblo, estaba desnudo. Estaba desnudo. ¿Te entiendes? Sí, pero el que le vendió eso le está cubriendo, rellenando la cabeza. Y también el rey se cubrió también en su imaginación y su deseo y su pasión y su deseo de saber, de ser inteligente, de ser conocedor, pues también y participó en el engaño, participó en la cobertura y en la rellenar donde no había. So the emperor, since he wanted to be intelligent, considered intelligent and considered knowing and of high nobility and of high class, well, he filled in the empty part of this idea, of this new wardrobe, and sold it, and the guy who sold him on the idea was filling it up too. You see? And this is what happens in many churches and many religions and many doctrinal ideas on the planet. Esto es lo que está sucediendo en muchas iglesias, muchas doctrinas y muchas religiones sobre la faz de la tierra. You all are trying to cover up for nothing because you have a false belief. Salvation Checkup, also available on classiforum.com. Check out that book. El libro mío de el chequeo de salvación está en inglés, lo voy a poder hacerlo en español en algún tiempo. Está en classiforum.com también. Habla de las creencias no es suficiente. ¿Sí? So, esto es lo que está pasando. Ustedes como oyente en sus iglesias, usted está rellenando cuando el pastor también o el rabí, porque los judíos también hacen esto mucho, empiezan a estirar la sabanita para cubrir. Y si usted está cubriendo, en vez de estar analizando, usted se deja engañar. See, if you allow, rabbis do this, pastors do this, anyone teaching you does it, and if you're busy also covering up for the lacking instead of analyzing the emptiness in the concept, then you see, you are doing it to yourself. You're getting fooled and you're a participant in it. Usted se está dejándose engañar y eres participador en ella. I have no reason to be afraid of teaching this to my congregation. Yo no tengo ningún temor enseñando esto, diciendo esto a mi congregación. Porque yo siempre estoy diciendo a mi congregación, estudien, analicen. No solo cogen mis palabras y se dejan llevar por lo que yo digo. Yo lo digo. Yo no tengo temor porque yo sé lo que estoy diciendo. You see, I'm not afraid of telling my congregants to check what I say out. Don't just believe what I say. I've always said it. I've always taught and I've always told them, you check what I teach. You check it. Don't just take for what I say for granted. You see, but where do you hear that in your pulpits and in your altars and in those ministers all over the place on TV and all over? Where do you hear them? No. They say, no, I know the truth. They say, oh, I know what I'm telling you, and you better listen, or you're going to go to hell, and you're going to, that's what they do. And you guys go, oh, yes, Lord have mercy. Oh, yes, a pastor preaching, good pastors preaching. Woo! I feel the Spirit. You feel the Spirit? Santo Dios, ten misericordia. Ve que la gente se deja engañar y entonces sienten, ¿qué? El Espíritu. Oh, como está predicando el pastor hoy. Ay, el que no escucha, yo te digo la verdad, y el que no oye, ese está desobedeciendo a Dios y se va para el infierno. A su nombre. Eso es lo que hacen. Y todo el mundo, la gente, ay, gloria a Dios, aleluya, todos están atemorizados, me voy al infierno, ay, Señor Santo, ten misericordia de mí, ay, Santo, ay. See, but when someone like me, fat and ugly, tells you the truth to your face, you don't like me. You don't like the truth. Ustedes no les gusta la verdad. Ustedes no saben lo que es la verdad. Y cuando se les dice la verdad, ustedes temen. You guys are scared of the truth. You guys are scared when I come out here with my ugly fat face and tells you the truth. That's a frightening thing. Oh my. You want to go to the pastor that looks pretty and is clean shaven. Looks like a gentleman like. That's what you like. Because he's preaching it the way you like it. So, when you see the teacher or the preacher stretching, and you feel that they're stretching because you still have the question in your mind. You know, I was watching a so-called respected rabbi just yesterday. And I looked at his teaching all throughout. And it was hilarious. Near the ending of his teaching, where one of the congregants still had a question about a very alarming statement that he said. This person, this rabbi, said something was so alarming. And it wasn't only that it was alarming, it was more that it was baseless. Estaba escuchando un rabino anoche, estaba estudiando lo que el rabino estaba enseñando. Y vi toda esa presentación y hacia lo último dijo algo tan alarmante. Y entonces uno de los feligreses, pues, como permiten el levantar las manos y hacer preguntas, pues uno de los feligreses dijo, yo no entiendo por qué tú dices esta cosita. Y la razón, y yo entiendo por qué él no entendía, porque el rabino lo tiró así, sin sustancia, sin base. The rabbi threw it out there without substantiation. It's one of the other things I told you guys to be careful about. Es otra de las cosas que le dijo que tuviesen mucho cuidado. Cuando la persona empiezan a hablar y empiezan, 2 y 2 son 4, 4 y 4 son 8, 5 y 3 son 2, y 4 y 4 son 8. ¿Tú viste? Did you hear? What happens? They when they start going through, let's say 2 plus 2 equals 4, 4 plus 2 equals 6, and then they go 5 plus 3 equals 2, and then 8 plus 8 equals 16, and 10 plus 10 equals 20. You see that in there was an error. There was something that was not true. But since I'm saying all these other things that are true or accepted as truth in your mind, you just you let it go by. And so this rabbi throws in something without substantiation, but this member of his congregation caught it. Because it's an alarming statement, and he caught it only because it was so alarming. Because if it wasn't that alarming, he would have swallowed it in with everything else. Which is the thing that I'm trying to impact you all with. That you need to be very, very careful. Ustedes necesitan entender que si no fuese por lo alarmante que este rabino habló, el miembro no hubiera quedado con tanta inquietud que habló, que dijo algo. Porque si fuera algo así, liviano, hubiera tragado eso con todo lo demás. Y esta es la razón que le estoy advirtiendo, de que tengan mucho cuidado. So after this member inquires, you could see it in his face. Like the rabbi is trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to, repeat this? Because his only option was to repeat. See? Repeat. Like play again this whole section. Because you weren't supposed to still have this question. We have to repeat. So he goes and starts repeating again. But this is where he starts drawing in the covers. Entonces este rabino, cuando se confrontó con esta pregunta, empezó a repetir otra vez como si fuera repasar todo lo que había dicho. No, él no falló en oír. El fallo no fue que el miembro no oyó. El fallo es que tú no diste sustancia, soporte a lo que dijiste, a lo que metiste, porque lo que metiste no tenía que haber metido allí. No hay prueba. He put in something that really has no proof in what he was dealing with. He just put it in there. So repeating everything you said is not going to help. It's not going to help because he didn't swallow it the first time. So what you're doing, you're hoping that he'll swallow it now the second. We're going to force it down his throat. Swallow, darn it, swallow. See, but when it's so obvious like that, why don't people pick that up? I see it, I saw it. But everybody in the congregation, because the rabbi knows so much. Oh, el rabino que conoce tanto. Sí. Incredible, increíble. Increíble como tragan cualquier cosa que le tira. Como si fuera un perro. Hueso, cualquier cosa. Entonces, and then this is what they say. Listen to this. Well, you have to know how to read this to understand it. Tú tienes que entender cómo leer esto para entenderlo. See that? So what you're reading doesn't provide the proof. And then now you blame us for being stupid. Entonces, lo que se está leyendo, la escritura, no da la prueba que necesita el rabino para soportar lo que está diciendo. Y entonces es nuestra culpa. ¿Sí? Que somos brutos, que no entendemos. Guys, listen. You guys are fooled because you want to be. It's simple. Ustedes se dejan engañar porque quieren. Porque quieren. ¿Sí? Porque ustedes no usan el cerebro que Dios le dio. Because you don't use the brain that God gave you. Simple as that. Y no sabe cuando te están engañando. And you're not seeing when they're trying to fool you. Now, the guy who's teaching you may not be trying to fool you. La persona que te está enseñando quizás no te quiere engañar. Quizás ellos están engañados. Ellos siguen la enseñanza engañado. ¿Entiendes? You gotta understand that. So just because that person looks sincere, it doesn't mean that they're right. For goodness sakes. Aunque la persona parezca sincero, no quiere decir que están bien, que están correctos. So it has nothing to do with the person. It has to do with the concept. Is it naked? No tiene que ver con la persona. Tiene que ver con el concepto. ¿Es desnudo o no? ¿Están tratando de cubrir o no? O es claro y evidente. See, so you need to pick this type of things up. Usted necesita tener disciplina para ver estas cosas cuando se te está presentando. Para tener el cuidado. Okay? You'll see them always throw it in without support and then they bury it with other truths. Ellos siempre tiran la mentira o el error y lo cubren con muchas verdades. Pero te hacen tragar la píldora con el error. But they'll make you swallow the pill with the error in it. See that? You have to be careful. Listen, you're looking for everything being an error for you to be able to identify as error. The devil only needs one thing to be an error to make you lose your eternal salvation. One thing. See that? And you're looking for all of this. And the devil, here, look at all this nice truth here. Look at all this nice truth. This is what you like. And inside is that one error which will make you lose your eternal life. That's all the devil needs to do. You guys need to understand this. Tú sabes que el diablo no necesita, el diablo solo quiere poner una cosa de error. Solo necesita tener un error encubierto con muchas verdades absolutas y metértelo y hacerte tragar eso. Eso es todo lo que necesita el diablo. Y ustedes están buscando por, su error. Es error, eso no es así, porque a mí me enseñaron, porque esto es así, porque esto es así. Ustedes son muy sencillos para engañar. You know, you guys are so clearly simple-minded to be fooled. Simple, it's so easy, it's not funny. Okay? It's not funny. And the evidence of that is that guy, that rabbi gets so many shares. And here on Facebook, how many do I get? Look at what I'm teaching you right now. But how many will share this? That's what you have to realize. That is what you have to see. Esto es lo que tú tienes que realizar. De que esos rabinos tienen la iglesia lleno de gente y está predicando en diferentes partes del mundo. Y aquí, ¿cuántos compartan esta enseñanza? ¿Cuántos están ahí haciendo lo que deben de estar haciendo con esta enseñanza? ¿Sí? Y todo el mundo usa eso como el estándar. Oh, ¿cuántos están viendo? ¿Cuántos tienes? ¿Cuántos hay en su iglesia? ¿Cuántos están compartiendo su video? ¿Cuántos? Everybody's judging by how many people share, how many people are viewing, how many people are on this channel, on that channel, on this channel, on that channel. You know, how many followers do you have? How many people in the church? How many churches do you have? It's all a numbers game out there. That's what they're going by. But look at who they're promoting. Look at who they're following. cover up here. See? But when someone's telling you the absolute truth, this is incontrovertible, non-debatable. What do we have? So this is the thing to realize. We're having some technical issues, so forgive us. Make sure you look at YouTube if anything fails for you guys. Check out the youtube.com/TSPCI/live. If the broadcast fails in any one of your channels, most probably YouTube will be on. If not, you'll look us up on Facebook Church TSPCI, and do a search on Facebook and look for my ugly fat face. Or look at, go to live stream. The other best bet is to go to live stream. And I believe Periscope may still be functioning. One of them has failed, so I don't know which one it is. So just look for us on any one of the other channels there that are most popular. Okay, so listen, you need to be able to identify when someone, you may not know what the truth is, but you can. If you really stop and think about it, you can tell when someone's trying to pull the wool over your eyes. See? When someone's trying to pull the covers on an idea that's naked, that needs much more substance and much more support. You should be able to see that. Usted debe de conocer, quizás tú no conoces la verdad, pero es difícil, ¿ves? Pero puedes, cada ser humano debe de tener la capacidad de poder distinguir, o de discernir cuando una persona está tratando de rellenar una idea, que la idea no tiene sustancia, cuando una cosa no tiene soporte, uno debe de verlo, tiene la capacidad de verlo, analizar, y lo que dijo ahora no tiene base, entonces lo que está diciendo para darle base no es una cobertura, está sacando de otro lado para cubrirse aquí. So, eso debe ser la habilidad de que cada persona debe adquirir. Every person should have at least the ability to see when an idea or a concept isn't, and it's not just people telling you that. You should also see it when you're reading a book. Books are infamous for saying things and then not bringing in enough substantiation for it. Forget the news. The news is blatantly unsubstantiated. But when you go to a book and you're doing a dissertation, or you're preparing a school report, an essay, whatever, you're doing research for your own writing, you really need to be critical. That's what critical thinking comes in. Hay que ser más critical en su pensamiento. No puede solamente leer a cualquier cosa, porque no es solamente oyendo un maestro hablar, también es leyendo un libro. Tú no puedes solo cualquier idea que se presenta así. So I've seen it all the time. I've seen it in almost all the books that I've seen and read in my years of study, and even still today when I do reading for research, I come across so many times when the author does not substantiate a certain point, and it's their bias. They have a bias. Almost everyone has it. Casi todo el mundo tiene un prejuicio. Y cuando se está escribiendo, muchas veces se ve el prejuicio y son cosas que dicen, o un punto de vista que no tiene ¿cómo se dice? Soporte. no tiene, lo tiran allí y entonces presentan datos en luz de algo sin base. See, so what happens is that even when authors and researchers are presenting research, they'll present research based on an unsubstantiated point of view. The research is right. You know, the research is this and that and this. But their point of view is the one that's unsubstantiated. And that's the way they're interpreting this research. So it's skewed. Skewed means that it's twisted. So that the results will say or indicate what they're saying it does. And they're using all the research to provide proof and evidence for a posit that doesn't. So you see, if you read books and you don't read and you don't see it, you're not doing. You have no understanding. You believe anything. Usted tiene que ver que muchos autores tienen el prejuicio, entonces usan muchos datos, pero lo interpretan a través de su prejuicio que no tiene base. So puede tener 100 pruebas, pero el prejuicio que tiene no tiene ni uno. Pero eso lo usan para interpretar los 100 resultados. Y pueden decir, así tú ves, tanto referencia, tantas evidencias de prueba, de datos. Y tú dices así, ¿verdad? Presentó tantos casos. You got wiped off the map. They presented so much proof and evidence, so many test results, so much data, and you got swept off the map because you have been fooled because the first premise was not and still is unsubstantiated. Doesn't matter how much proof and evidence they brought out and interpreted using their prejudice and their bias. So that is, see, and if you read a book and you listen, if you read books and you are not critical of the book you read, you are a fool. Usted si lee libros y no eres crítico de lo que has leído, eres un insensato. Punto. Porque a toda cosa que uno lee, uno tiene que ser critical. Because everything you read, you need to be critical. Every passage, you need to be critical. Cualquier posición debe ser critical. Foolish. And if you hear anyone telling you about a book, all of this is absolutely 100% also foolish for you to even go by that. Because that guy swallowed it hook, line, and sinker. No reason why you should. But that's the tendency. Tenemos una persona que leyó este libro es fantástico. 100% absoluto correcto, esto es tremendo, este libro, él lo tragó todo. No quiere decir que tú tienes que hacerlo. Otra vez, criticar. You know, when you go to college, at least in the days that I went, we learn to be critical. You have to analyze things. Nosotros cuando yo fui a la universidad había que ser crítico. Había que analizar las cosas. ¿Understand? No había ningún libro que yo tragaba todo que decir, no. Again, if that's something that you do and you've done, you are wrong. You are you're gullible. Si tú lees los libros y, oh, qué fácil este libro también. tú eres fácil para el engaño. Porque correctamente, debidamente se debe decir, usted debe ser crítico. Este libro tuvo estos puntos y en esta parte noté esto, noté algo aquí sin sustancia, sin soporte, pero vi este punto, esto, lo hace esto, you know, you need to be able to talk about a book or about an article that you read, you know, this story or this book, you know, makes XYZ points. Some issues here that I found, you know, were unsubstantiated comments here and there. I think the slant. If you don't know the slant of the author, you don't know how to read. You need to be understanding what the slant of the author is. You need to understand what the author is trying to say, his underlying message. Because if you're not seeing that, then you are not understanding what you read. And you have the Bible, you think you understand the Bible, really? You know, this is the silliness of this whole thing. Ay, señor. You know, entonces hay gente que no son críticos, no entienden, no pueden hablar de las cosas criticamente, pero entonces tienen la Biblia y creen que saben Biblia. ¿Really? Así, really? No. Okay. All right. So listen, I have a whole mess of things that you guys should be looking for in order to know what the truth, or be able to get towards the truth and not be diverted by false teaching, by false ideas and philosophies. Okay, you pick it up when you listen to my teachings here. You'll pick it up because I'm always talking about this type of thing. You need to understand what tricks are being used. And it's not that the people are actually trying to trick you. They've been duped. So they repeat. They're repeating what their teachers taught them. And see, I can tell you, I'm not repeating anything my teachers taught me. Then you can go and ask them. You see, that was cut with me. But most of these other guys that you guys will be seeing, listening to, pastors and teachers and rabbis, most of them are teaching how they were taught. And they're repeating what they read. That's another one. You got these people who repeat the books to you. That's the dangerous lot. They are a dangerous lot. What religion they're in or what philosophy they're, these are the most dangerous guys out there. Because they're just amplifiers for whatever someone wrote. That's a dangerous thing. Hay quienes solo repiten lo que leen en un libro. Esos son los más peligrosos de todos. Porque están repitiendo, son amplificadores de los errores que otros han dicho. Ellos no saben, pero están repitiendo. No son la persona en sí, sino que son los conceptos, sencillamente conceptos. Y usted tiene que aprender cómo distinguir, no cómo discernir, sé criticar. So you have to be critical. You have to be, even there's this videos out there that they claim to be, what does it say? They say check everything, or it's like, what did they, there's a little tagline that they use. Check everything or test everything. Test everything. See? So when I go and look at their videos, this guy does the same thing I'm talking about right here. And then they're claiming that test everything, you know. See? But they're taking upon themselves the appearance that they are right. We test everything. Baloney. Baloney. You guys don't test nothing. You test it against your own opinion. That's it. Eso, hay unos videos que dicen prueba todo. Prueba todo. Es una organización que profesa que prueban todo. Y en realidad no están probando nada. Porque yo oigo lo que están hablando y usan las mismas técnicas Las mismas tácticas que yo he de escribir hoy día en esta enseñanza, en esta mañana, en esta introducción. Y meten cosas que no tienen base en muchas verdades. Eso lo hace muy bien hecho. Muy bien hecho. Y tú ves la gente promoviendo sus videos. You guys are hilarious. They promote those videos all over the place. Hilarious. Santos así. So anyway, these are the things. Listen, when the end of times comes, and it's coming soon, you guys have no excuse. Simple as that, because I said. Cuando viene la última hora, y la hora viene pronto, no tienen ninguna excusa, porque ya la verdad se los ha dicho. Punto. All right. Let me just have a time check because I have gone on with this today. Good. So, let us get into the scriptures for today. We are in Exodus 20, verses 24 to 26. And let's get into that screen here for you. Vamos a entrar a esa pantalla ahora. Éxodo 20, verso 21, perdón, 24 a 26. We are in Exodus 20, verses 24 through 26. Now, what we're talking about the human perspective. Part of the reasons I did the introduction as well is because it goes and coincides with the problem of human perspective. Parte de la razón que entré en la introducción amplia de esta tarde es lo cercano que es la perspectiva humana, que es el tema de esta clase hoy. La perspectiva humana es una influencia bastante amplia. And again, I'll repeat it again because you know why things have to be repeated. Exodus 20 starts out with a preamble. As a matter of fact, Exodus 19 is your preamble to everything about the law. Exodus 20, the first verses are a preamble to the Ten Commandments for a reason. Hay un preámbulo en Éxodo 20, los primeros versículos. Y es una razón, por una razón. See? And then after the Ten Commandments, we have a positioning. Y después de los 10 mandamientos tenemos una posicionamiento, se puede decir. En términos que Dios posiciona lo que se dijo. In this fashion that God positions what was just said. As opposed, and he highlights the difference between what Moses said and what he says. This is where the human perspective topic comes from. El tema de la perspectiva humana viene de este posicionamiento que Dios hace al fin de los 10 mandamientos. Y lo vemos desde el 18, que la gente vean y conocemos lo de la nua, lo que pasó, y que Dios, Moisés dice, y que Dios dice, no temas a la persona. No temas porque Dios ha venido a probarlos. Aquí dice, a probarlos. Pero entonces dice Dios más adelante, y el Señor dijo a Moisés, así dirá a los hijos de Israel. Así dirás a los hijos de Israel, ¿sí? Ustedes han visto que he hablado desde los cielos con ustedes. See, that is God's perspective. The people had a different perspective. Moses' explanation was based on the human perspective of what just occurred. God is testing you. See? For God has come to prove you. See? And that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. You sin not. You're going to hell, you sin. You rather sin not. God's perspective is that you have seen that this has come from heaven. God's perspective that I have talked with you from heaven. That is God's perspective of what just happened. So this is where the topic arises. The difference between the people's and Moses' perspective as their teacher and God's perspective as the speaker, as the creator of these events, as the originator of what is truth. De la verdad, Dios está haciendo estas cosas. Y esto es la perspectiva que he hablado a ustedes desde los cielos. Pero el perspectiva humana es, no pecan contra Dios, teman. Esto Dios vino a probarte. A probarte para que no peques de Dios. No peques. Van a morir en pecado, en infierno. Esa es la humana perspectiva. Pero Dios dice, yo te he hablado desde los cielos. Usted ha visto, yo te he hablado desde los cielos. It's actually a very beautiful thing. It's a beautiful and wonderfully loving thing that God has done. You see? But we are, oh, don't sin in front of God, you're gonna die, you're going to burn in hell, you know. That's our perspective. And God's trying to reach out to you in love, and we are in fear and dread. Y Dios te está tratando de alcanzar a la humanidad en amor, y nosotros aquí meándonos en los calzoncillos de terror. We were pissing in our pants. Forgive me, but you know, it's just funny in Spanish. We were pissing in our pants out of fear, and God is just trying to reach out to us in love. The same type of thing of our parents. You know, our parents tried to teach us why. You know, it was out of love. They're trying to do good by us, you know, to correct the wrong things we do, so that we can live decent lives and be happy. But, you know, we take things the wrong way, especially when authority is involved, right? Nosotros tomamos las cosas mal. Nuestros padres nos están tratando de enseñar amor para que no viven, ¿cómo se dice? Angustiados, que vivan en victoria, que vivan en paz con Dios, que tengan vida eterna. Pero muchos de ustedes toman la autoridad muy negativamente, lo toman mal, la perspectiva humana. And that really changes things. It changes your relationship. It changes the definition, the terms that you use, what they mean. And then you got to think about what other things are impacted. ¿Qué otras cosas son impactadas en la perspectiva humana contra la verdad de Dios? ¿Qué otras cosas son impactadas? What other things are impacted by this difference, by this controversy between the human perspective and the truth of God? Because it does impact a lot of things, even definitions, as we've discovered and we've talked about with the terms faith, right? and the terms holy. It's with the human perspective is so different. It's very close to this one here. It's very akin, very familiar. It's almost the same reckoning and reasoning. If you have the mental acuity and the mental discipline to analyze the difference here. Because porque antes usted necesita tener la acuidad, no sé qué ser en español, la facultad mental de analizar la claridad de la diferencia aquí entre lo que Moisés habló al pueblo y lo que dijo Dios para el pueblo. De antes de hoy o antes que tú escuchara esto de mí, ustedes no se fijaron que esto existía, ni siquiera. ¿Sí? But now you can see that there is a controversy between what Moses said and what God told Moses, go and tell them this. Because you done and told them your thing. That's a human thing. But now tell them the truth. See, there's a difference between the truth and the way people see it. Hay una diferencia entre la verdad y esto es lo que tú estás viendo aquí. But the curious thing is, the fascinating, the wonderful thing about this whole thing is that it happens right after the Ten Commandments. It's like a setup, boys and girls. It's a setup. It is. It is a setup. Nothing is happening. God doesn't purpose. It's a purpose. Está aquí a propósito que esto sucediese inmediatamente después de los 10 mandamientos. And taking it in the summation with the preamble. See, of Exodus 20 before the 10 Commandments, and now that all together, this is a significant teaching. En tomando el preámbulo de Éxodo 20 junto con este suceso después de los mandamientos, y fascinante enseñanza de parte de Dios, porque Dios lo coreografó, Dios lo organizó, Dios lo hizo así, todo planificado, todo a punto, como Dios lo quería hacer para nuestra enseñanza. So this is all happening. Choreographs it for our benefit, for our teaching, because that's what is happening. He never said he never stopped teaching. He's been teaching for a long time here in Exodus. Okay? And I'm not just talking about teaching us. I'm talking about this class started some time ago. Because if you realize when God started talking about doing things like letting them die of thirst, God has started teaching. When they were crossing the, God already started this class. He already started this class. Teaching that has gone on non-stop since they were in Egypt. This has gone on non-stop. This class. Esta clase ha continuado sin parar desde Egipto. Sin parar. Y continúa todavía. Okay. So, we have the difference in perspective. Now let's get to 24. That's established. 24. God says here, an altar of earth thou shalt make unto me. Now, as we said, the things that the other nations are doing. Don't make a god of gold. Don't make the god of silver. That's what they do. Don't do that. It's one way of looking at it. Una manera de mirar lo que Dios está diciendo aquí. Mira, no me hagan lo que hagan las otras naciones. Las otras naciones hacen un punto de vista, ¿no? Que tenemos sobre esto. Pero entonces, hágame un altar. So we see the little dichotomy, and don't do what the other nations do, making a silver and gold god, but then make an altar for him. Because again, doing. God is not. See, has not. Everybody keeps putting the emphasis on the pagan gods and what the other people are doing. And God's truth is not does have nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with teaching. That God is teaching something. Dios está enseñando, and está usando esta cosa. He's using these things to teach. See? This is not about ritual. This is about education. This is not about law. This is about education. This is about trust. Esto no tiene que ver con ley. Esto es enseñanza. Esto no tiene que ver con rituales. Esto es enseñanza. Esto es educación. Esto no tiene que ver con ley, sino es Torah, es instrucción, para instrucción. Esto es educación. So this is all about education. It has nothing to do about religion. It's about intelligence. Us to be more intelligent, more understanding of what is going on with us and with Him. Dios nos está educando para hacernos ver claro lo que está sucediendo entre nosotros, con nosotros y entre nosotros y Él. Como ley, no aprendes nada. If you look at this like law, then you don't learn a thing. See, because then you have the same perspective that Moses had. Look at the perspective. Look, appreciate what Moses is telling you. This is what we do. Look. He said, fear not, for God is come to prove you, to test you. That's the way we're going to look at this. This is a test. So what's in the test is rules. You have to know the rules. Memorize the rules for the test, right? You've heard it in school all your life. And that his fear may be before your face. See, because you won't pass the test. This is the human mentality. Yet, what is God saying? God saying, tell them that ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. He's talking with us. Porque Dios nos está hablando. La verdad de Dios es que Él nos está comunicando. Él nos está hablando del cielo. Esto es lo que está sucediendo. So listen, again, this is where you have the dichotomy and the difference in perspective, which makes the difference in how you learn. You cannot say you have the truth, you're not learning. If you look at it only as fear and sin, then you are not learning anything. So you cannot say you know the truth. You may know the law, and you may know then sin, but you don't know the truth because you are not learning it. Sabrá ley y sabrá el pecado, pero no sabes la verdad, no entiendes la verdad, porque tú estás enfocado en la perspectiva humana en vez de la verdad de Dios. Y eso es la diferencia. Indiscutablemente o discutiblemente entre los que enfatizan la ley y los que enfatizan la gracia. Eso es la clave, la diferencia. No hay más nada. So the main difference here is what we can see is that the main difference between those who emphasize the grace of God through Jesus Christ is this one. Is simply that when it's the human perspective as opposed to the truth of God. That's what it is. And it's not mutually exclusive, meaning that there are people who are focused on the faith of God, but who are still not understanding. So that is always true. Because the bottom line is the black and white, the night and day of this whole thing is one of understanding or not understanding. That's it. It has nothing to do with Christianity. It has nothing to do with Judaism. It has nothing to do with legalism, with law, or with no law, with grace, with no grace, with faith or no faith. It has to do with understanding or not. That is the evening and the morning. You guys know that from Genesis. The evening and the morning. That's the difference here. That is true of this universe. There is none other. Everything is either evening or it's morning. Okay? And that is, and everything that we know is the day. And that's it. Todo lo que conocemos es el día. Solo tenemos la noche y la mañana. Y eso es la diferencia. Oscuridad, tinieblas o luz. You either have darkness, which is lacking of understanding. You don't know. You can't see. You don't know. Or daytime. You see. The light is here. That's what it's all about. Ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing else. Stuff is all human perspective versus the truth of God. Simple. Así que este es el entendimiento que hay que adquirir. Let's get into then this altar. And if thou will make me an altar of stone, thou shalt not build it of hewn stone. So first of all, remember here is on 20, we skipped the verses, an altar of earth thou shalt make unto me. Un altar de tierra hará para mí un altar de tierra y sobre. So, again, like we said, what is God? God is painting a picture. Tierra es un altar. And thou shalt sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings and peace offering. Two things that are classified here: burnt offering, peace offering. Que la ofrenda holocausto, que es por quemarlas, pues se dice holocausto, y ofrenda de paz. No, cuando se habla de paz, está hablando de pecado, o sea, la paz entre Dios y el hombre, que se elimina el pecado. So when you talk about peace, when God talks about peace, He's talking about the enmity between God and man, which is caused by sin. The offering of peace is to mediate for the sin of man, which makes us enemies of God. Simply. So the offering of peace brings peace. It is a symbol of that being removed. The burnt holocaust, the burnt offerings, el holocausto, is that which is destroyed. The burnt offering is destroyed. That's why it's burnt. So that it's a symbol of destruction, and obviously death. Death and destruction. That's what is testified by the burnt offering. And I know that people look at the incense. They look at, because that's another form of burnt offering, isn't it? Okay, but you have to understand, anything that burns, that is referring to the judgment. That's referring to you shall die when you eat of this tree. Or death is coming, and everything will be burned. Because remember, God destroyed everything by water. He said never do it again, but it'll be by fire, because everything will be the burnt offering. The altar will all be consumed. That's why later on you see that the whole altar, you see it later on, is consumed in the fire. See, when God brings down the fire. See, because God does it the right way. The way that it is. You guys are doing the human perspective way. Little fire on top. Little fire on top, burn that burn off in your outline. That's cute. But when God does the fire down, the difference. It doesn't just consume it burns that whole thing. That whole thing consumes the fire. Así que mira la diferencia que Dios dice, la ofrenda aquí, el holocausto, el hombre va y ofrece ese holocausto y el sacerdote lo quema. Pero fíjese que después, en el futuro, Dios manda fuego del cielo para consumir. Y no solamente consume el holocausto, sino consume el altar y consume la tierra alrededor en fuego. Porque la perspectiva de Dios es distinta que la perspectiva humana. Nosotros estamos ofreciendo, pero Dios es que consume. Lo que Dios está exigiendo, lo que Dios, su juicio demanda, es otra cosa que lo que nosotros ofrendamos. So we are seeing, and we have to appreciate the difference between what God is, the truth of God, as I said in the title here for this teaching, and the human perspective. It's a drastic difference. And people can hang their diplomas and their intellectual hats on things of the human perspective. The truth of God is very different. It is different. Okay, and so that is the thing that I'm pointing out right here. So don't again, the discerning minds. Discerning minds. Necesita uno una mente para discernir, una mente con la facultad y la habilidad de discernir las cosas. All right, and so here we have, and then he goes and says, "Thy sheep and thy oxen." Okay, so hay cuatro cosas que establece. He talks about sheep. He talks about ox, and it's the curious thing, so very curious, is that the sheep, its symbology, the symbolism of the sheep, and also the symbolism of the ox. Vemos aquí que Dios también añada para hacer cuatro completo tus ovejas y tus vacas, y entendamos que el simbolicismo de las ovejas tiene un simbolicismo muy, muy importante, ¿verdad? Y que también el becerro o las vacas tienen otra importancia también, ¿verdad? Ustedes no saben, pero esta palabra aquí, this word here, or this beginning of this word here, ox, is actually the Aleph. It's the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Aleph. Okay? It was originally, that letter of the Hebrew alphabet was drawn like an ox's head. Okay, this is going to become very important that you realize this. That you realize that when people refer to Elohim, okay, the first letter is the Aleph. It is the first letter in the Hebrew alphabet. It is the first. In the Greek, the Alpha, okay, to the Alpha and Omega of the Greek, to Christ. In Hebrew, it's the Alpha Tav, the Tav being the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet, which is equivalent to our T, the Tav. So in the Hebrew alphabet is the A-T, and the Greek alphabet is the A-O, Alpha, Omega. Hebrew is the Aleph Tav. And here we have the Aleph representing God, because it does represent God. But in its ancient drawing, it was drawn in the Paleo, it's called the Paleo Hebrew, lo que se llama en el hebreo paleo, que es el hebreo antes del desarrollo del alfabeto en una forma más moderna, pues, la cabeza de un becerro. Y la palabra en inglés que tuve ahí marcada es esa palabra en inglés. Pero esa palabra empieza en hebreo con el Aleph, que es la primera letra del alfabeto y es de Yahweh, es símbolo de Dios. ¿Ok? Así que fíjese que el concepto de Dios es simbolizada en un becerro, So notice, you have to notice God is right here, because later on he goes into details, but right here in this positioning, he is throwing in the sheep and throwing in the ox to be sacrificed. Alabado sea Dios. Él está pidiendo como sacrificio las ovejas. Y conocemos a qué significa las ovejas. Y también el becerro. Aquí en español, los sacrificios que quiere que se hagan usando estos símbolos. See, so what's going on here is that the concepts are the ones that are being sacrificed, are the ones being sacrificed, meaning killed and destroyed in front or to the true God who created the heavens and the earth. Los conceptos de Dios y del hombre son los que se están haciendo delante del Dios que hizo los cielos y la tierra. This whole issue of sheep, this whole issue of God and the gods known to man and venerated by man, this whole issue of religion, ladies and gentlemen, is what is being sacrificed. Toda esta idea de religión, la idea que el hombre puede religarse a Dios, es lo que se está siendo sacrificado. Lo que Dios está exigiendo que se sacrifica. Si es que me hagan altar. way. And you will sacrifice these things. This is not about a religion. God did not come to make a religion with us. Esto no es de religión. Anti-religious. Lo que Dios está mandando aquí es anti-religioso. Es contra la religión. No quiero religión. No quiero religioso, oveja. Oveja religioso, fanático. Sheep. I don't want religious sheep. I don't want idiotic sheep. That's not what God is requesting here. What he's saying here is that religion is dead. Give it up. La religión es muerta. Entrégamelo. Punto. Se terminó. Quémalo allí en ese altar. That is why, see, when people, you guys don't understand. You guys are not understanding. Ustedes conocen un ateo, tráelo aquí. Para que vean que Dios está con ellos. God is with them. Listen, hey, yeah, no religion. Forget religion. Religion's no good. Look, even God is agreeing with you. Has this whole world all messed up. It's stupidity in the name of religion. La estupidez que tiene este mundo todo lleno de porquería, de basura, todo confundido, la estupidez encubierto con religión. Again, right after the 10 Commandments. Hello, ding dong, anyone home? Aquí después de los 10 mandamientos, ¿está alguien en casa? Hello, ding dong. De la casa de servidumbre. Esto no es para esclavos, ustedes son libres. Hello. Esto no es para obedecerlo como esclavo. Esto es para entenderlo como hijo libre, como persona de capacidad. Para entenderlo. This is teaching to be understood. Hello? You're not slaves any longer. And then after the 10 Commandments, right? Here, you guys got a different perspective. What's going on? You guys gotta fear God. Fear God. Don't sin against Him. You'll sin against Him. He's testing you. And God said, hey, listen, I'm just talking to you from heaven. No, I'm trying to love you. I'm trying to communicate with you from heaven. Tenga temor. No peque delante de Él. Y Dios te dice, yo estoy tratando de amarte. Estoy tratando de hablar contigo desde el cielo. Y entonces no me fuego. Take all your concept of religion and throw it on the fire. And we got some sort of issues that people are because la verdad es demasiado para ustedes. Is this too much truth for this world to listen to hear? Esto es mucha verdad para que este mundo lo escucha, because we know, matter of fact, thousands of people would be sharing it. It'll go viral. We know this. If this was BS and full of garbage and silliness and leading people for their perdition, you know people will be sharing this on his videos going viral. Listen to what he says. You know that's not happening. Rather, we're getting, blocked. We got people, don't want to share it. They're afraid to share it. Sí, pero otra basura se comparten, van viral. Pero este programa tenemos problemas con el ¿cómo se llama? Las cadenas me están dando señales que tienen problemas. Contienda con esto. Pero con los demás miles, ustedes saben, los miles de errores y versiones de error que están allá afuera, están sin problemas. Y este ministerio, y este video, y esta iglesia molesta a mucha gente, le molesta a mucho demonio, le molesta a This broadcast is bothering the demons. It bothers a lot of people. It bothers the devil. This ministry, this church. Other churches, everybody sends them money. Everyone helps them. Everybody wants to join their church. Everybody is promoting their channel. Everybody is sharing their video. Other churches. Problem today. Oh, it's a problem, this one. Este ministerio, esta enseñanza es un problema. It's a problem, this one. Because it's disruptive. ¿Y qué dicen la gente? What are the people saying about this ministry? About this minister? About these two? The same thing they said to Moses about God. Lo mismo que dijeron a Moisés de Dios. And they said unto Moses, speak thou with us. Hey, you speak to us. Let's hear from this other pastors. Philosophy to that guy, to that one, to this one. Let's share this. Let's let it go viral. Speak thou with us, and we will hear. Y escucharemos. Pero no hable Dios con nosotros, no sea que muramos. That's the problem with this broadcast. Temas because of your human perspective, por su perspectiva humana. God is where we left off last week, and it was where in all places where I record my name, I will come unto thee and I will bless thee. El diseño de Dios que es en cualquier lugar donde yo that is the design of God. That is the purpose of God. That is God's plan, to bless you. But look at the method that he says he will do. Wherever I record my name, and here we see that is verse 24. So let us look at verse 24 here. Yeah, right here. Shalem, which is peace. My peace office is Hola, which is the burnt offering. Tison and Bakar, almost like Spanish. Bakar, Bakar is the ox. Bakar is to remember. And here in the context, it's where he records where his name is. Because wherever his name is, you will remember it. It's there to remind you. It's recorded. Ahí donde está el nombre de Dios, recordado Yom, Shabbat Yom. Remember that? Zakat, very important word. Okay? Shem, como in Hashem. Hashem is the name used for the Lord. But they say it's and they use the name. It literally means the name because they're not supposed to use the name. So instead of using God's name, they will use the name, Hashem. Okay, so that's why you see here Shem. Vendré y te bendeciré. Barak. Barak. Interesting as well, the bara. Bara in there, it's almost the bara of creation, right? Bara meaning to make. And you see in the study of that word, we'll see that barak means actually to bow down. It means to be in the position of respect and of reverence, but it is also where a subject receives the blessing and the blessing of their king, of their sovereign. Remember that, like when the knight would be knighted, a person would be knighted, he would kneel down before the king, and then the king would round table, right? So kneeling was all. See, this is what we're talking about: human perspective and divine, the truth, right, of God. God's perspective. The kneeling down is not just that the relational reality of God blessing His children. See, instead of if you're thinking it just the other way, we're thinking it in our way. We're kneeling down, we're showing reverence and respect and holiness to God. Is saying, I'm showing you, I'm talking to you from heaven. So it's like it's a communication. It's a miscommunication because you're not understanding the purpose of God. You're thinking you need to be and that's basically what you got to see. That you see it here, even in the word barak. Well, God is trying to bless us. He wants to bless us. But yet the word also means to kneel. It means to show reverence and to kneel down. This or that. And now we see that even the human perspective comes into play when considering what these things actually mean and what God is meaning, which is the point that I was talking about before. But I build it of hewn stone, and hewn stone means that you cut it. God didn't want the altar to be made by cut stone. Why not? No, that because God, see what everyone would say that the legal, that's how they act. Así actúan los legalistas, los que enfocan la ley. ¿Por qué Dios dice, yo pregunto, ¿por qué Dios dice aquí no corta la piedra? Porque eso es la ley de Dios, dice. Así no lo quiere. Ya. Así hablan los de la ley. Es increíble. No hay entendimiento. No hay ni chance para entender. Yo no sé cómo pueden educarse esa gente. I don't see how you guys can if you block it. That's it. Esos son los legalistas. Those are the legalists. You do what God said. That's it. The law. This is not supposed to be religious. Esto no está supuesto ser religioso. No corta la piedra. This is not about man doing this and that to please God. That's the reason here. So that's why man cannot hew the stone of the altar. Because the altar symbolizes what God is going to do. Not what man is doing. What God is doing. That everyone has. You guys are fighting and defending a religion that is simply a symbol. Están defendiendo una religión que es un símbolo para enseñanza. No es una religión. You think it's a religion, it's a faith. It's not a faith, it's not a religion, it's a teaching. No understanding. You're not going to, this is not a human thing. You're not cut these stones, not fasten these stones in any way. Con piedras labradas. Es que la gente no entiende. No es por su labor. No es por sus obras. This is not by your labor. This is not by what you're doing. There's nothing enseñando los fotos, los gráficos, that's it, los símbolos. Porque si alzas una herramienta sobre él, how can you pollute the stone? How can you contaminate a stone? I ask you. ¿Cómo puedes contaminar una piedra? Porque no está contaminando la piedra. You're destroying the teaching. Keep it pure. Keep it holy. You're teaching something else. You're teaching a false. When the teaching is, this is not what man is doing. This is what God is doing. La enseñanza de que esto no es lo que el hombre está haciendo. And then to finalize it, because we run out of time today. Tampoco subirás por gradas a mi altar, that neither thou shalt go up by steps unto mine altar, that thy nakedness be not discovered What is the point here? God doesn't want us seeing the nakedness of other people. This is about nudity here, is it? estamos dando un servicio, que estamos en un rito con Dios, que se vean las cositas del macho guindados. Eso es una ofensa para Dios. So it's an offense to God that as a man is mentality of the human perspective. God made that. That's God's creation. Eso es lo que Dios creó. It's about the fact that the being naked was a result of falling in sin. El punto es que estando desnudo, y todo esto es para eliminar la separación entre Dios y el hombre, que es el pecado. This is all about what's guindando ahí es el hecho de pecado. Ese es el resultado. Y lo que se está haciendo en este rito es so of course you cannot have the symbol of man's sin, which is nakedness, it is the nakedness. And it's funny because a lot of people who have the legalism, focus on the law. The Bible says it, what the New Testament says. The New Testament says it, but not the Old Testament. And the question is why? But that you'll have to wait for. Dirá la gente, ¿cómo tú puedes decir ese pastor? Porque dice la Biblia que sin ley no hay culpa de pecado. Pero eso lo dice el Nuevo Testamento. El Nuevo Testamento. No el Antiguo Testamento. Y la pregunta es ¿qué? Pero eso es algo muy importante. So that's an important teaching, but that's going to have to wait for another day. But it's fascinating, this lesson today. So again, I have to tell you, God bless you all. Thank you for watching. Dangling. Sit down with someone and show them this teaching. Why don't you do that? If you have a pair. Si tienes un par guindado, pues siéntate con alguien. God bless you. Remember, social evangelizer going to the big house soon, to the Arithmetic University exclusive, and it's going to be worth up to $1,000 then for you to get it. Get it now. So